We are off to Estonia, leaving Helsinki, Finland by ferry and returning to Helsinki in the evening. Our destination for the day is the capital city of Estonia, Tallinn. Tallinn's medieval old town was built by German crusaders in the late Middle Ages and is in magnificent condition, with medieval city walls and towers almost completely intact. It is considered one of Europe's best preserved medieval old towns. Our transportation from Helsinki to Tallinn was by ferry. The ferry boat was more like a cruise ship. We did not have a cabin, but we had access to everything on this ferry. After 7 centuries of German, Danish, Swedish, Polish, and Russian rule, Estonia attained independence in 1918. Annexed into USSR in 1940, it regained independence in 1991. It is now one of the more prosperous former communist states. In 2012, Tallinn had the highest number of startup companies per capita among all capitals and larger cities in Europe. Tallinn is the birthplace of many international high technology companies, including Skype and Wise. In 2007, Tallinn was listed among the top 10 digital cities in the world, and in 2022, Tallinn was listed among the top 10 medium-sized European cities of the future. Tallinn was first marked on the global map by an Arab cartographer in 1154. Tallinn was first mentioned in 1219, although the earliest settlements are thought to date back 5,000 years. From the 13th century until 1918, the city was known as Revel, Reval. The city has a population of about 500,000. Tallinn is listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. First stop was the Song Festival grounds, completed in 1960. This was the first modern post-war construction to be built in the city. This is a popular venue for events. It is best known as the place where every 5 years the Song Festival is held. In August 2009, Madonna performed in front of a crowd of 72,067. In June 2006, Metallica gave a concert for more than 78,000 fans. In August 1997, Michael Jackson performed in front of a crowd of 85,000. The first song festival was held in 1869. In this year, 2025, the Song Festival was held July 3rd through the 6th. The single day attendance was about 58,000, and the combined audience for the two song concerts was about 79,000, with a total festival attendance surpassing 100,000. Gustav Ernsaks, living from 1908 to 1993, was an Estonian composer and choir leader who wrote himself into history with his songs. One of his songs became the unofficial anthem of the Estonians during the Soviet era. and Ernsax was one of the driving forces behind the National Song Festival. The monument at Tallinn Song Festival grounds was unveiled during the opening concert of the 24th National Song Festival on July 3rd, 2004. The Alexander Nevsky Cathedral of Tallinn is an Eastern Orthodox cathedral. The construction took place during the rule of the Russian Tsars Alexander III and Nicholas II in the end of the 19th century, when Estonia was part of the former Russian Empire. The cathedral is richly decorated, has 11 bells cast in St. Petersburg, the largest of which weighs about 16 tons, more than the other 10 combined. The cathedral was built during a period of the late 19th century and has been disliked by many Estonians as a symbol of former Russian oppression. During the 1944 to 1991 Soviet occupation of Estonia, as the Soviet regime was officially non-religious, many churches, including the cathedral, were left to fall into disrepair. The building and its interior have been meticulously restored since Estonia regained full independence in 1991. Since 2022, the issue of demolishing or relocating the cathedral has been revived in response to Russia's aggression against Ukraine. A member of Estonian parliament proposed to create a park in its place. This is an interesting relief sculpture found on one of the streets in Tallinn. This sculpture presents Voldemar Panzo, the first leader of the drama school of Estonia Academy of Music and Theatre. Panzo was leader of the school in the years 1957 to 1977. This is the Cathedral of St. Mary. The church was originally established in the 13th century as the Roman Catholic cathedral, after Tallinn and northern Estonia had been conquered by the Kingdom of Denmark during the Northern Crusades. In the aftermath of the Protestant Reformation, the church became Lutheran in 1561 and is now seat of the Archbishop of Tallinn, the spiritual leader and chairman of the governing synod of the Estonian Evangelical Lutheran Church. This is the Stenbock House. The Stenbock House is the workplace of the Prime Minister and the venue for regular government sessions. On the day that we were there, they were expecting the arrival of the Vice President of the United States. The building was originally designed as a courthouse. Upon its completion in 1792, it became the urban residence of Count Jacob Pontus Stenbock because the Russian Empire got into financial difficulties because of its Turkish war. The building was used for various purposes until 1891, when it was first put into use as a courthouse. Tallinn Old Town consists of two parts. Toompea, located on a limestone elevation 65 to 100 feet above the rest of the town. This area belonged to the representatives of the nobility and the state power since the 13th century and was set apart from the downtown, both administratively and by a protective wall. The downtown is located between Toompea and the seaport. The downtown part was surrounded by a wall. Here we are on a balcony overlooking Tumpia. That tallest building in the center back is St. Olaf's Church that was constructed in the 12th century. The slightly smaller one right almost in front of it is St. Mary's Cathedral. This is the Tallinn Town Hall. The town hall was first built in 1322, but its present size and shape date back to 1402. The eight-sided tower was built in 1627-28. The long leg and the short leg. These are two streets which start from the same point and connect Tumpia with the downtown. The long leg is wider and could be traveled by carriages and coaches. The short leg street was meant only for pedestrians, and it is rather steep. The gates of the long and short legs were closed every night, cutting off all traffic between the two parts of the town. On the left here is the Viru Gate, Viru. This gate is first mentioned by name in 1362. Only two corner towers remain, the main gate tower along with the Barbican, which is there in that photo, and the watermill located on the adjacent moat were constructed during the 14th, 15th centuries. On the right is the St. Nicholas Church. This was most probably founded in the middle of the 13th century. The building was active as a church until World War II. 1984, it was opened as a branch of the Art Museum of Estonia. Catherine Passage, Pikk Street, which is also Long Street, is the longest street of the old town. It used to be the main street of the town where the most important public buildings were located. For example, the houses of the guilds, which joined the representatives of the various professions. The first records of the Great Guild date back to 1325, but the building was completed in 1410. Only the most wealthy and respected residents of the town could be admitted to the guild. All of the more important officials of the town were elected only from among the members of the Great Guild. The building presently houses the Estonian History Museum. Here are a couple of street scenes from the Great Guild Town Square. And then we were back on the ferry, headed to the evening in Helsinki, Finland. And next we were on our way to St. Petersburg, Russia.